And good morning, it's Friday. This is Odyssey of Ascension. I'm Roxanne and I will be channeling for you today. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Good morning once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. Hot dogs in the morning. Excellent. We would have you understand that of vibrational senses that you do not, let's say, tune into, that are once again, of course, running in the background all the time. Otherwise, you would not be able to sustain this reality. You would not be able to perceive where you are at without the subconscious, yourself, in the mind-body-spirit complex, truly becoming the mind-spirit-body in other times. In that idea, the subconscious is perpetuating frequencies to allow you to understand, let's say, relate to the frequency of third density as an all-encompassing idea. These are perpetuating systems that have gone let's say, detected by yourself. The only way you get to understand something is the, let's say, awareness of it. Just by this channeling alone, as many other channelers over the times have given you the available frequencies. But most of the frequencies that are available are those that you attach to truly. Are those of, let's say, pinpointed ideas of particular outcomes. In other words, what is it going to do for me? Is it going to bring me to a new state of awareness? Is it going to, let's say, shift something within me in my world so I can see? There's no reason to see anything. Well, I'll be. Ever heard that term? People are stunned about things and they say, well, I'll be. Listen to the words. I'll be. There's a big key in that idea. The more you be, once again, with no detection, no detection of seeking, looking, trying to find what it means. Be and you shall see. Truly. So now the available frequencies we're going to discuss in that fashion, those ideas of the perpetuating reality you perceive. For your conscious self, in separation, let's say, could not handle the focused reality of perpetuating portions of your reality. It cannot focus on ideas of creating the body. Because it's a light show, don't forget that. You're not here, you're dreaming this. In order for the experience to come into being, you must give vibratory states for experience, relatable to your conscious self in understanding. Right now, your 5 senses. 6 senses, truly. But there are several thousand other realities available to you that make up this reality just by tuning into it. But again, do not seek the way to tune into it, and do not seek the perpetuating outcome of what is it going to do for me, for that is seeking a vanity to prove it to yourself. In other words, you want it to know. Why do you need to know? You will know is the gift. That's what you need to let go of. Trying not to leap forward in order to move forward, because you want to see before it occurs. Because never has been, never will be, seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. Know now that the frequencies are available, those that, let's say, vibrate into your reality, unnoticed by the conscious self, that create the experience of third density. Fourth density as well. You are, let's say, straddling both of them, of course, shifting back and forth in between, understanding the relationship on how to sustain it with your focus of that and not your subconscious running it in the background so you can experience this. So feel yourself. Don't look how it works. Feel yourself into the moment. Be the moment. Notice the tiny little shifts in yourself. Then you can focus upon it and watch it flower. Do not force it to bloom. Allow. We've talked about allowance of that, let's say, your entities to be themselves, and you provide the mirror of love by being your highest excitement. In allowance in this idea, we would want you to know that the frequencies are there, thousands of them, that show you how your reality is created over here. It'll become distorted because you're focusing on it with no intention of how or why or when or what is it going to do for me from the standpoint of I need to know. What it is, that distortion occurs because you've just focused on it with no expectation, giving your full attention to it, not, let's say, interlaced with different vibrations of lowering that matching frequency in relationship. So as you're walking through your day, noticing your nows, being in your fluid self of, let's say, life, stand by. Is she okay?
I think so.
Does she need water?
I'm okay.
Take your time. We have no time. You're most welcome. Back to the idea. All right, we're going to shift it a little. You see a distortion in your, let's say, peripheral vision. The reason why it becomes more prevalent, and a lot of you are seeing this, more flashes, more things appearing within your peripheral vision. Not so much your focused vision. Because when you focus it, interlaced with that is the idea of expectancy. Oh, what was that? And you focus in and you change the, let's say, you dilute the pool of that frequency with your frequencies of expectation. This is why being is so crucial. More you be, more you see. Let that resound in your mind like a clanging cymbal. Okay. Now, in your vibrational state, if you notice something, immediately just don't shift to it and want to know. Allow it to reveal. Letting it go, knowing it's there, however, not focusing on it once again in that idea of expectancy. Just allowing it. Your distortions of your frequencies on the left and the right side of your peripheral vision is just because you have raised your frequency. Subconscious connection is deeper with the conscious mind, the separated self. And in that, you are now aware of the work you're truly doing to sustain in relationship this idea of third density. Don't look for big energy shifts or grids or ideas like that. Those are fine. You understand those and they serve a purpose when they call you. Not out of, I haven't seen it in a while, let me go make something happen. When energies come in that idea of the collective giving itself something to attach to for a higher frequency band, a portal opening up, whatever it is, it comes to you in its natural timing, and now just allow that. However, we want you to know how much truly is going on to create this idea that you are experiencing in your dream state. So in focused nows of your highest excitement, the distortions among you will be more prevalent. Distortions in visual, But you are truly, let's say, lessening your distortion of your higher self and yourself to become more unum. Then seeing that the subconscious, you, is doing a lot in the, let's say, fashion of every now for relatable experience of third density once again. So feel the vibrations, ease into them, allow them to come and watch your reality change and shift. Much of you see ghosts as of late, more than, let's say, usual, but you're not, let's say, quite defining them as ghosts so much anymore, because that paradigm of, let's say, getting you to wake up to the idea of ghosts is now fading away, because you know it's just entities, spiritual, reality sitting on top of each other, which it truly is. Why? Because everything is here and now. So, in that idea, you will see more and more in and out, okay, in and out of matching frequencies, radio stations, if you will, overlapping each other. Okay? They're all here and they're all in a frequency band to perceive. But now you're going to get, let's say, the beginning phases, infancy phases, we shall say, in that idea of tuning in, because you are allowing, because you've raised your vibration, okay, tuning into different types of relationship to different realities. Everything is relationship. How you put it out is the relationship you have to that mirror. And whatever frequency you are relating is what you receive back in the mirror. So in that, when you've raised, which you have, raised your frequencies, but you're trying to figure it out with logical mind, that just brings back up the, let's say, the lower frequencies in that fashion, but do not define it as higher or lower. But that frequency that's interlaced with ideas of limitation. So let go of the seeing to believe and believe to see. Know that this is fact with you in this now is all you need. A truth to, let's say, allow is all you need. Then it comes into play. More ghosts, aliens, extraterrestrials, off-world beings, other selves, probable selves, death, let's say death family members, the ones that have, let's say, passed on, that still come in to serve a purpose, spirits, if you will. Let's say archangels and angels, they are, let's say, an idea of two separated classes, but the unum of one serving different purposes. For experience, relax. All right, so all of these now available to you. Create, let's say, a sustaining bubble that you can now hold and always see those different realities sitting on top of each other. Then, with your confidence that it is real, built upon to where you have, let's say, oh yeah, of course, and you know it, and there's no seeking it for accomplishment, then it sustains, once again, as a, let's say, perpetuating reality of always seeing different dimensions pop in and out. Then you can and will focus on them to sustain it in your reality for, let's say, extended period of times, longer and longer, giving you your astral projection in a awake state in that fashion. And you will become familiar with different home bases. The home bases of your probable selves, one, that would, let's say, we'll say that in time would be the best thing. Your space-time frequencies of your probable selves over there. In other words, you see yourself in another time, space-time as this self, as well as past and future lives. Being them, shifting your conscience there because the frequency is available, those will become home bases for you for excursions, if you will, okay? The ones that are most comfortable and familiar will be the first ones that you will experience. The ones of your probable self in this timeline, going back once again as Seth echoed, let's say a probable self that didn't wake up and then going and vibrating and shifting into that conscious, but that's a home base for you to go and play in that, let's say, reality timeline for experience. because it's very familiar, because it was you in that space-time of now. Okay. Now, you will also take your probable selves of different entities. We're talking your Pleiadian selves, your ET selves, or alien selves, no matter what the civilizations, the ones that are most equatable to you, the most exciting to you. There's a lot of Pleiadians and Arcturians, is, let's say, offering that vibrational home base for you to go there. As you are raising your frequency, the familiarity will ping to you because you are that through the, let's say, the spiritual lineage going upward, not down in history or back in history, just now. That home base becomes a stepping stone for you to stay there with focus awareness after it becomes, let's say, easy for you with no intention of accomplishment over a series of nows. Then that home base becomes a beacon for you to just go to right here in awake state and shift over there. What will happen is you don't leave this reality, okay? So in other words, somebody doesn't, let's say, somebody in your third density reality walks up to you and you're just dozed off or you're in another world, okay? And they're looking and go, hey, are you awake over there? Oh no, I was just daydreaming. It will not be that state. What it will be is you will not vibrationally be in that person's awareness. In other words, you've left the room. But don't worry about time because you didn't leave the room. You are on, let's say, no time. You go over there and spend 5 hours on that home base of your Pleiadian self, experiencing that in full consciousness, but you're not vibrationally here. This entity walks up and goes, what happened to you? Where did you go? You're supposed to be home or you're supposed to be at work. It doesn't matter. You will come back in that instant moment as you've never left because there is no time. And then what happens is they give themselves the memory of you never being gone. However, you retain your memory of the entire experience. Does this all make sense?
Yes.
Excited?
Yes.
Most certainly. Okay. So listen to the different ideas within this entire encompassing idea. That of allowing. You are seeing more. You cannot help it. Every time you raise your vibration through self-love and claiming the I am that you truly are, that raises your frequency. Frequencies are toning. Toning is attaching to whatever you focus on. Your subconscious is focusing on everything vibrationally that allows this. You will see that in your first stages, how things are created. Distortions come in. Things can move in the room just to give you a little bit of, whoa, that was cool, idea, to give you validation. Then you see other realities on top of you. Don't focus on them in the now right away because of, we've explained the expectancy idea of, let's say, validation of all this is real. What we want you to do is continue to allow it to flower, allow yourself in relationship to tune into that and understand all that you are. Beyond that, then you will get probable selves offering you different places as a frequency of a home base which is most comfortable, but truly not in this space-time now. You vibrationally leave this, and your reality instantly becomes that home base. It's all dream. It's not solid. It's a light show. Okay. You are there, you shifted your reality, you focus upon it because you understand it. You understand it from the standpoint of God, the divine nonchalance, the I am that I am. And that gives you the experience because you're not diluting that, let's say, frequency home base with anything of limitations, bringing it into it, distorting it down. Then you stay there for however long and you have that particular experience for whatever that is offering you, and you perceive it once again how you choose. Perfect. Then here you will come back when you choose, as in no time has actually passed. Stand by. Some of you will play with the time. That is out there too. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, that kind of idea. To give you further validation with no expectancy. Now, so you see the entire idea that you are now aware of, and it all starts in infancy stages. Remember that. You cannot eat, let's say, meat before you drink milk. Okay? Relax. Allow yourself to become more of what this reality is offering. First in understanding, then in relationship, then in focus intent. And then you are more of yourself in relationship. That gives you the idea of truly how to proceed in your idea of expansion. Because now the familiarity is beyond measure of any equatable time to that of humanity, in history, in memory of what you are experiencing. Time reading. 18 minutes.
21.
Off. Wonderful. We shall take a break. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. I bid you a good moment. Adore. Cool. Wow, I have to, yeah. I gotta look at that one again. I understood it, but I was like, okay. Yeah. Cool, huh?
Yeah. Very cool.
All right, we'll take a break. Love you guys.